This is on the Facebook side. Come on.
Crackhead lighters.
Let's get it on.
That's fucked up.
Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna make it public so everyone can see. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this. Edit, post, edit.
Are we on Facebook Live right now?
Yeah, we should be.
Yo, what up?
Edit, post, edit.
We're working.
We're working at Kevin. No. At Kevin. Yes. All right. Save. Cool. All right. Go back. Send me back to Facebook. All right. Okay. All right, Savage Brushstroke. We're like a minute and a half in. We haven't done anything yet, so we got to go. I'm Ralf Precious Gorgeous. This is Kevin Sanchez,
hey,
New York comedian, repping the Boogie Down Bronx.
No. Spanish Harlem.
I fucked up already. Right at the top. Spanish Harlem.
Everyone does that to me. They assume I'm from the Bronx.
Why do I assume you're from the Bronx?
Because Latinos took over the Bronx. And I'm light-skinned, and it's assumed I'm Puerto Rican.
What are you?
I'm Dominican.
Oh, okay. That's why we get along so well. Maybe it's an anomaly that we get along so well, because from what I understand, I've never experienced this in my life, but I understand that Dominicans and Haitians don't get along.
That's a thing over there. I'm a New Yorker first. Like I'm
right.
Yeah, and I love Dominicans. I love Haitian people. You know, and if I hated them, I'll tell you. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's something. It's so hear about these prejudices. And I've been in New York half my life. I've never experienced a single one. I've never experienced any of that.
It's hard to be racist in New York.
Yes.
That's probably the hardest thing to do, especially if you like live in low-income housing. You don't even need to live in low-income housing. You take the train, you're going to be around different cultures, different ethnicities. It's almost impossible to live a life of hating a race in this city.
Yes. If someone is racist in New York, it's almost like they should get a high score. Like that you managed to do that. It's like, damn, that's good.
Yeah, if you racist in New York, you go to the KKK ceremonies, and they
just get crowned. You like, just become the grandmaster.
Yeah. It's like my buddy Josh. He says that he's going to convert me to Judaism. And he's doing a great job at it. Like he really is. And he's like, you know what's crazy? If you become Jewish, you're like touted higher than a lot of Jewish people. People who convert are respected a little bit more. Supposedly.
Wow.
You know, and so that's how the KKK views super racist in New York. They just touted it higher.
Wow, that's so funny. That's interesting because like I'm what people would call religious. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus and all this stuff. But I'm like a very lame, whack Christian. Like a lot of Christians, like I was like raised in it. I was raised Catholic. Like I've always believed in God, like my whole life, like automatic, right? But like a lot of people, they call like I smoked. I did 9 heroin needles at once. I was a prostitute when I was 7. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're not the
like people. A lot of people become. A lot of people become Christians and they're like, Dad, like a horrible, they went to the rock bottom before they found God. And I was just like watching cartoons and my parents were like, you believe in God? And I was like, yeah. You know what I mean?
I respect that more. I respect that you just didn't need a problem. You're like, I knew from the beginning.
Maybe.
you
It feels like a boring story. Like I definitely I never feel like I'm not really somebody who's gonna go out and evangelize anyway. That's not my style, so to speak. But like I never felt like I could anyway, because I can't be like I was sucking dick for Jolly
meth.
Ranchers
Yeah.
or meth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever it was. I was out there. I can't tell that story. I have a very lame story.
I don't think that's lame, son. Like, not everyone is supposed to have a crazy story. Your story probably you have a crazy story. I know you're an artist. Most artists, I don't know any good artist who fucking doesn't have a little bit of a fucked up story. You know? But just because your religious story, who cares if your religious story is boring? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Can I curse on this? It's cool.
Oh yes, please. We're here to be natural. So yeah, I know a little bit about your story. So apparently I didn't even know where you were from, but you're from Harlem, Dominican from Harlem. I know that it's very interesting to me whenever, J-Caps and I are this, but I feel like it's rare that we meet them. And to me it's rare because all the artists.
Rare to meet what?
Well, all the artists I know in New York are mostly not from New York. Some of them are from, I would say maybe 25-30% of them.
That's interesting.
And then a lot of them, even if they are from New York, they're like hipsters. You know what I mean? And I would say you're resolutely you're from your soil. You're like a product of your environment, but you're still fully an artist. I feel like you're very in love and enamored of being creative and expressing yourself.
I love this shit. You have no idea. I'm so obsessed with this shit, bro. I've never been obsessed with anything in my life. And I was never. And I tried to be. I wanted to be a rapper, but something in my heart told me, okay, this just, you don't look like a rapper. You don't like gold, motherfucker. At the time, that's what I thought a rapper was, you don't like chains. You don't like talking to women badly. You don't even though Jake, that's the ongoing joke on our podcast, is that I'm a chauvinist pig.
Low and Gigolos is the podcast we're talking about that you do with Jonathan Kaplan, who's on the show, and Josh Pallad, who will be on the show hopefully one day soon.
Oh, he will. He loves you, bro.
Yeah.
We love you. We love you. Fucking.
But Low and Gigolos podcast, the most criminal podcast in New York. Devious and it's hilarious and beautiful. I love it.
The mode of a rapper, and then for a little while there, I felt like rap was becoming so pop, whatever that means. I was, I was a young dude influenced by old heads, and they're like, "You're a rap guy. Some of you guys are good, but most of you guys, all you want to do is dance." So
wow.
And I was influenced by that. I was like, yo, and I wasn't that good of a rapper, if I'm being honest with you. I wasn't I couldn't memorize my rhymes.
Oh, I can't memorize anything.
Really?
Whenever I have to freestyle, I really freestyle. I can't remember. I know my songs.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Because songs they're I spent the whole morning for some reason watching funk styles. I went back and tried to rewatch I spent the whole morning watching Funk Flex freestyles. I don't know why, but people keep talking about this damn Black Thought freestyle. So I went and watched it again, where he raps for 11 minutes. Then I went and I watched Innocent Paak. I watched Meek Mills. I watched Tory Lanez. I don't know if I could freestyle, but I couldn't memorize a verse. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Anderson .Paak is so freaking talented, dude. I can't believe this dude has that much talent.
He's really good. He's really good. He's like a top. I think he's like a top tier rapper. But he's so good at everything else. Nobody even talks about how good a rapper he is, which is strange.
He's something else, bro.
Yeah.
You remember Ryan Leslie?
Yes. Yeah. I follow Ryan Leslie very closely. Yeah. Yeah.
You know how talented he was the first artist I saw who knew how to play almost every instrument. The first rapper, the first person in hip hop. He was rapping, he was singing, and he was producing and writing so much music for everyone. Anderson .Paak is what I thought Ryan Leslie should have been.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean,
Not
yeah,
saying Ryan
Anderson,
Leslie didn't have a great career.
he had
Because
a good career. He's actually interesting because he like is one of the people. The reason I was fascinated with his music when he first came out because I thought the same thing. Like he can do everything. I don't think his songwriting was that had very much depth, but he definitely knew how to make a catchy song. He could rap. He wasn't a great sing and all this. I think Anderson .Paak is like the next level of him because he's actually like great at all those things. He's a really great songwriter. He's a really great singer. I think Anderson .Paak is a better rapper than I am, and I think I'm really good. But Anderson
yeah, I know
.Paak
you're
can
good.
rap his ass off,
Right.
you know. Um,
And
he's
then
really really good.
he has this sultry voice, like this fucking jazzy, raspy rapping voice and singing voice that just is so melodically pleasing to hear. I can
Mm-hmm.
listen to like, and then like for some reason, because I'm always switching phones and shit, I have to re-download my music, and I forget to put Anderson .Paak. I was just put onto him like a year ago.
Oh wow,
So
wow.
it takes me like listening to like a movie that he's randomly like one of the songs on a movie or some shit, or like I'm listening to the radio while I'm in an Uber and Anderson .Paak song. I'm like, oh my god, I forget about Anderson fucking .Paak, and I gotta re-download all his shit again.
Yeah, he really is. It's funny how he's so good, but he's so like out of the way in a strange way. He was different, but yeah, he's really an artist I have a lot of respect for, and he like yeah, it's interesting. There's sometimes when you really dig into artists and you see their real depth. The reason I was watching Tory Lanez is because I was watching, you probably seen it like on Twitter, like he did a live I think this past weekend with Drake with that while during during the current quarantine, and he was so funny and he was doing like this weird announcer voice, and I was just like, man, you forget like how talented all these people are. Like he can sing, he can write songs, he can rap. I don't really love his songs, but like he definitely has star quality and he rap. And then when I was watching, as funny as Drake is, and Drake is really funny, and like,
Drake is really funny.
Yeah, and then what I was when I was watching, made me because Meek said the same thing. Meek did a free of about a year ago. And he was like, put this beat on, but I don't want nobody to misconstrue it. Drake and I are really good friends now. Like he did it over the back-to-back beat. And he's like, I just wanted to rap on this beat, but like I'm friends with Drake. I talk to him every night. And then I was watching that live with Tory and Drake, and I was just like, they were having so much fun together and laughing. And I was like, people want beef over this? Over like seeing young black kings like laugh and enjoy each other?
So I respect that opinion.
Yes.
I do respect that opinion.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. I was in the club scene when that beef was happening. Like I was going out with my girl every night. I was, you know what's fun? I'm glad you brought this up. My buddy, I'm gonna shout him out, Dylan Negri. He's a comedian from New York City, and we're coming up together. And we were talking about that beef, Meek Mill versus Drake. And he goes, the most hilarious thing about Back to Back is that nobody even liked the first diss track. Like, what do you mean back to back?
I like.
You know what he was doing to me? You know what he said to me? I said, I liked it. Right? He goes, yeah? What's the name of the song? And I was like, Battering. And then he goes, name a lyric. How does the beat go? How does the beat go? And I was like, I remember it was good. And then I played it, and I was like, this shit is cold.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Back to back. Sure.
But anyway, I was in the club, bro. And let me tell you something. That had to be the most demoralizing time in Meek Mill's life. Because I was in the club and they would play that song like 30 minutes before the club was like when the lights coming on. Every girl, every guy, back to back, and singing every lyric.
Oh, shit.
Get the prenup. It was like, and then remember that story when Meek Mill was like at the club and they played back to back, and he was like, yo, how you gonna do that? Shut that shit the fuck off. And then he got on the radio, he told that story. This is why I like Meek Mill. And he goes, and I can't lie, that shit was fire though.
Like to me, that's the only thing that I love about a beef reconciliation. Like that's what I love. Like to this day,
you're a beautiful soul.
I think Yeah, I think I went. I don't know, man. I think I went back and I don't think I listened to. Maybe I listened to Story of Added On or Duppy Freestyle. Man, I don't think I have yet. I don't think I've listened to him because it's just like to me, it's like push. He's music. He's part of a young king. Drake is a young king. Like he's done so many great things. Like I don't want to tear each other down. I don't want to see that. This was be getting money. Like I know they're both getting money, but
what do kings do, bro? They try to take over land. What happens when a king? What happens when a king feels like it's not a fucking, like there's not a fucking virus going on? You know.
Well, we're live again. We're live again. Part 2.
I haven't seen any of the PSAs. Yeah, we're talking about. If you're just joining us, we're talking about how I decided. Like I'm looking at the interview. Some technical difficulties happened with me and Precious Gorgeous. And I look back at the interview we just did, and I'm just touching my fucking face like I am doing right now, like I'm not supposed to be doing. Just to give you the example, I'm risking my life.
Yeah.
I'm such an idiot.
Well, we appreciate that. Yeah, we're all out here doing our best, trying to stay out of the way of the COVID.
Hey.
Germans in the building.
COVID.
Man, I wish I remember. Oh, we were talking about beefs. That's what we were talking about. We were talking about the Meek Mill and Drake beef and why. Like I'm someone who totally understands why beefs are exciting. I'm not gonna deny that they're exciting, but just like Dr. Dre said, I just want to see young blacks get.
You want to see young black men make money.
Yeah, I just think it's beautiful when it's peace and when we I'm not saying battle rap, battle raps are dope. It's to me, it's something so beautiful. Like when you see people be like, "Hey, we're together no matter what, pulling each other down." It's just, to me, it's like, did Meek Mill and Drake make as much money apart as they could have together?
Well, Drake did. I think Drake
won. Drake did.
Yeah, Drake did. He definitely did. That shit helped a lot.
Yeah. But I also feel like those beats probably distract him and hurt the music going forward, because he didn't follow that.
I don't doubt that changed views up, because views came out after the beef, and I don't doubt that changed the course of where that album was heading.
Yeah, I really did not like views. I really didn't, and I love Drake. Drake has some great albums. Drake has some dead albums, and I don't think the albums that are motivated by beef
were necessarily his
best. Are the best ones. Yeah, like even Scorpion was really good, but it was over long, and I wonder if, I think before the beef but I don't know. It's just not my favorite thing. It's just like, it's not that I don't enjoy the song, but it just comes from such a dark, evil. Like I don't really want to hear music from that place anymore.
Tell you what. So, speaking about music, I'm gonna mention one of my fucking first influences as an artist and who it was.
Let's go.
As not an artist, as a comedian, as my humor. What really shaped my humor, I think, was Eminem, Slim Shady.
Wow.
Yeah. He was my.
Please talk that.
Yeah. Yes. He was the first adult that gave me that I witnessed that just made me laugh. He just made me fucking laugh, and he made me question everything. Like when I'm the Real Slim Shady came out, and he spit in the fucking burger and he handed it to someone. That's the first time I realized there's savages in this world. That's the first time it dawned on me that there's some evil fuckos out there that will fuck with your food. Right?
Yes.
And the first song I heard that really I'm not gonna say the first song I heard that really fucked with me and that made me laugh hysterically, and I was like, how could I laugh at that? Am I an evil human being? And I started playing it for my friends, like, yo, do you find this funny? And they were laughing. I was like, wait, but this is my surrounding. So maybe I got to go to somebody who's not like me and see if they laugh at this shit. And they did, thankfully, because I would have thought me and my friends were just psychopaths. But it was Criminal, the song Criminal, where he had a skit in the middle of the song and he's robbing a bank and Dr. Dre's the getaway driver, right? And he's like, he goes up to the teller, he goes, hey, I'd like to make a deposit. And she's like, oh yeah, for how much? He goes, for the fucking money, bitch, put the money in the fucking bag and I won't shoot you. And he pulls the gun out. And again, this is all shit. There's no video for this. I'm just like it's the skit in my head, and I'm seeing it, bro. I'm seeing it, right? And he's like, "Put the fucking money in the bag." And she's like, "Oh my god, please don't kill me, please don't shoot me, please." She's like, "Shit, I wasn't gonna fucking shoot you." And she puts all the money in the bag. She hands it to him. And then he goes, "Thank you." Boom, blows her head off. And runs out, and then continues the rap. My mind was fucking blown. My mind was like, oh shit. This is what you could do? You could just make that shit up. That didn't fucking happen. But it made me laugh and it warped my brain, yo. It definitely changed who I was becoming as a person, I think.
That is, see, I'm so fascinated lately with like I'm not a stand-up. I'm a comedian, but I'm not a stand-up. But I'm so invested in this battle of like, you can't say anything, and it's just the culture's changing, and you can say things, but don't about this and that. But I'm like, I feel like people so much. It's like, to me, people always ask or want to talk to me about like 30 Rock and The Office, which I agree are very funny shows. But I can't watch them. I can't watch them because to me, they seem to be watched by people who are probably like those kind of vanilla PC people who like, you can't say that, who deny that they have a shadow side. They would deny that they ever have a racist thought, that they ever have a murderous thought, that they ever have a violent thought or a perverse thought, or you know what I mean? Or people who cannot admit to those parts of themselves, or who like, and so I remember it was probably Pete Holmes who was talking about, he's like, we must express that darkness in us.
Yeah,
and it's
we do.
And people get mad at Eminem for doing that, and it's like, he probably released that for a bunch of kids who probably would have otherwise had no outlet for it and became a bunch of uptight, crazy people who end up like killing their wife in secret or something. Right?
Well, he definitely was an outlet for me. I didn't realize how angry I was as a kid, because I was forced to be like, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I am very hyper aware, and I'm emotionally intelligent. Right, that's the only credit I'll give in terms of intelligence. I'm emotionally
that's huge to me. Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, I was always constantly having to prove why me and my brother should get adopted. I was adopted when I was a kid. So like, and I was the oldest one in the household, and they will always use that, like, because, you know, they didn't want to, like, my mom was a good woman, but like, she didn't want to, that was a threat for a little while. Like, you know what, I'm going to put you guys back up for adoption, right? So when I was younger, I would have to check my emotions, right? And I had a lot of anger built up because of that. And when I first listened to Eminem, this fucking dude and I'm thinking I'm good, by the way. I'm not thinking, I'm like, dude, I'm good with being adopted. That shit don't bother me. Like, I eat 3 square meals a day. I have clothes on my back. I go to school every day. I don't get abused. I don't get beat up, you know? Like, nobody's doing drugs. So I'm thinking, like, my life is great, you know? And I'm not dealing with what's really going on. And I hear this angry dude talking about he doesn't have a father, and he doesn't like, his mother was a drug addict, and he's like, he wants to kill everybody. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. I fucking get that. Yeah. And then, you know what really made me think about this? 2 weeks ago, I didn't realize how I never dealt with the fact I was adopted. I was watching that fucking movie about adoption. Like, Tom Segura's in it, Mark Wahlberg. I forgot the name of the fucking movie. And the actress, the older sister, the sibling, right? She made a face and an action that only adopted kids know. That I started crying within the first 12 minutes of the movie, like a baby. Like, I almost want to tear now. I'm crying because I knew what she was doing. And I knew that it was a survival technique. And I knew that, like, She like, I don't know who she studied, if she's adopted, but whoever she studied for that role, man, they gave her some good advice, and she took it because I felt I was boo-hooing, bro, in a pillow, hoping that Josh didn't hit me. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I realized, yo, how come I'm feeling this now more than I did when I was a kid? And it's because one, I didn't have the option. Like I had to put a strong face on my little brothers.
Yes. Strong face, brave face. Yes, I know about that.
Brave face. And secondly, I had Eminem, who was so angry for me. And making me laugh at the same time with his angerness. So that's where my shit, that's one of my influences right
That's huge, dude. I think about that. I've been talking about that the last few days, the last few comics I've been interviewing about how, you know, comedians, especially in this era, they give you this outlet to your emotions. You know, we think that we love them for their jokes, but really they create the jokes to make it, to sort of give you permission to feel how you feel. You know what I mean? It's like, like
100%, bro.
If you look at 8 Mile and you look at Eminem's music, it's so emotional. It's filled with so much regret, so much self-loathing and self-deprecation, but also so much rage, regret, pain, sadness, melancholy, loneliness, frustration. Like he really allows people a wide scope, also like cockiness, also like a wide scope of emotion.
What he taught me also was like, you can be that mad and that sad, right? And still have a good time and be silly, right? Because it'll be like, it'll be a song like, if I had one wish, I would have a big enough ass for my whole world to kiss, you know?
Yes.
And then he'll go to like not brain damage. He'll go to like, come on everybody, let's get down tonight. Come on everybody, let's get down tonight. Like he'll do a song like that, and it's like, oh, it's okay to be angry and just let some shit go and have a good time too. Wow. You don't gotta wallow in this shit all the time. You could be a silly goose and take some shit serious within a time frame of 15-20 minutes.
You just taught me something. Wow, I've never thought about how the variation in an album can almost mirror like a personality or a point of view, or even a psychology, or even like this album represents the breadth of emotions you can go through in an hour, and it's all of it's okay. This anger is okay, this fun is okay, the sentimentality is okay. You know, I love my daughter, fuck this lady, oh thank you Dr. Dre for saving me, I'm the best. Like just
that's why when someone says that song didn't belong on the album, it didn't go with the flow, you're an idiot. You're a fuck. You know why I went with the album? Because that day, even though his shit was about wanting to, you know, commit suicide, and his mother doing drugs in between that, he was like, "Hi, my name is."
Right.
That shit doesn't go with the fucking album, really.
You know, but that's like, what a human being is.
That's what a human being is, bro. A human being is like, yo, 20-30 minutes, I'm really sad, and then something clicks, something happens. Maybe like you caught the glimmer of a light on the fucking on your fucking window, and he's like, you know what? It is daytime outside. Let me go take a walk. Now that little fucking action made you take a walk, and now you're thinking about shit. You're making yourself laugh in your head, or you think of a beautiful memory. That's what life is, and that's what this albums and all that shit represented to me. Damn.
We're just thinking, man, really, I really,
as an adult, that's what it represents to me.
But as a kid, that's a theme that I think about so much, is how much there's art that is everything to you as a kid, and you have no idea, and then you revisit it as an adult, and it's just like you could spend hours thinking about unpacking.
I could spend hours dissecting that shit.
Yeah, like I could do the same with Eminem. I have the same. I don't think I had the exact same connection, but I was a huge Eminem fan as a kid, and still am now, especially of the older work, but of the newer work too, some of the newer work. But I probably talked about this before. I went to see the Mr. Rogers documentary maybe about 2 years ago, and revisit. Me and my girlfriend went to watch that. I cried through the entire film. What? Then I cried for 24 hours after that straight. Cried like a baby because, I watched Mr. Rogers probably all through my childhood, probably into my preteens and teens, I watched Mr. Rogers. But what I didn't realize was what he was. It's like, you remember how like you watch. I know you watch Mr. Rogers as a kid, but you watch it and it's kind of boring, but you're still kind of watching it
But
anyway.
I was still enthralled. I was like, oh, who the
Yeah,
fuck is this guy?
exactly. And you like,
why is he so nice?
you get older.
That's what I kept thinking.
Yes.
Why the fuck is this guy so nice?
Really?
No, well, I grew up where adults weren't nice to kids. And he was nice to children. He was nice to everybody. I'm like, why is he so fucking nice? Where are these adults that are this nice?
God, see that's
I'm sorry,
turning the screw on me right there. No. Even that, like all those things, like whenever, like those. That's why I talk about. That's why I was saying earlier, like beefs don't really mean anything to me. It's like to me now when I see McMill is like, listen, I want everybody out of jail. I want to help everybody get out. And I'm someone he was about to do freestyle. He said, apologize to everyone I had beef with. I called the game. I called Drake. I called everyone and I said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about what happened.
Did that for real?
Yes.
That's to me publicized everywhere. That's what I'm
saying.
That's a big deal. Me,
that's huge.
Because in our community, we hold pride over just irrational thought.
Yeah. I mean, I believe, to me, like I've been saying for the last, and you're bringing this up to me, you're making me remember this just even with Eminem, like when Eminem, like I'd be nothing. You saved my life. Or when he goes around and he goes to L Cool J and he goes, yeah, or when Pharrell does that shit to somebody, he's like, you're everything to me. You taught me everything. I look up to you. I would never, you know what I mean? Eminem follows one, at least the one that I know, the strategies of war, the whatever it is of war. Like you never outshine the master. Whenever he sees somebody that he admires, he always prostrates himself, and things like that are so powerful to see someone that you admire, to see someone that you admire be vulnerable,
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big fucking deal.
It's powerful, like super powerful, dude.
Like I do these mics every week, used to at least before the pandemic, and I do these mics every weekend, and sometimes, like, listen, I'm not perfect. Some weeks I'm there, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I heard this guy say the same joke 10,000 times, and then every 2-3 weeks, I'm in there. I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? How fucking 5 years ago when you were talking about being a comic, you would have not murdered. You would have gave up food. You would have fucking gave up money. You would have gave up your life. You would have gave up women just to be in this position, and you already done that. So enjoy this shit, bro. Help your buddy out. How about that? How about fucking maybe pay attention real quick and remember you're a fan first. You're a fan first, stupid. Right? Like that's how homage shit is real, man. Like when you see like you ever like when I hear Gordon Ramsay talk about chicken, right? I heard him talk about chicken like a couple years ago. I was like, I need to love something as much as this motherfucker loved talking about chicken.
Wow.
This motherfucker talked about chicken like he wrote like he painted the 16 whatever the fuck it's called, chapel.
Yeah.
Like he was going through crazy detail, and I was like, damn. So he was talking about one of his kids. That's how he was talking about chicken, bro. Chicken.
Yeah. As a black man, I can relate. I can understand. That's so beautiful. I used to, when I did stand up like maybe 10 years ago, and I ran with these dudes, and we would always go, this guy's still around, and I don't know what he's doing now, but I'll never forget him for this. There's a comic, you might have run into him at some point. There's a comic in town. His name was Tim Warner. It's kind of like he's just like a guy who's just been running around the scene forever. But it was a moment where he was completely sober and completely clean. I think he does like a lot of hallucinogenics or something, or maybe smokes a lot of bud. I don't know his personal life, but there was a moment probably for like a year where I went to this one mic at Parkside Lounge. Me and a bunch of buddies that I ran with, like bunch of comics that I ran with. We're all doing well now, but we all really. I remember like Joe Pera was going there, and Tyler Fisher, and all these guys, Jeff Russell Smith, all these guys. We would all go to this mic, and this guy Tim Warner, you could tell he was a naturally like pessimistic, like
dude, yeah.
cynical dude, and you would watch every week him fight in himself and be like, we're here to be positive, okay? You don't leave. If you're gonna leave, you cannot do this, Mike, okay? I'm not mad at you, but you can't. We're here to support. And if you gotta go, you go. But we're not just doing
comedians,
you know. But it's like we're here. We're supporting one another. We're positive. And he was. It was like he was fighting with himself, and it really
he was telling himself that shit.
Yes, and it was really the most for Mike because he really made it important to not only get up there and do the best you could do, but he made it important to be there for one another. And really, it was truly a beautiful mic. And and I went to other mics. So I know they weren't all like that. I know how comics are and what comics are, you know. So, but this was truly like he truly fought and made us see the beauty in that, and we did see it, and it was people did really good work, and
they give him credit right there, like, damn, you ran it, like you ran this beautifully, thank you.
I think if you ask people to this day, the guys who went to that mic and that era, I think they would all say how much we loved him for that era, for what he did there.
Man, that's just beautiful.
Yeah, man, it's so dope. Like I think that really helped. Already of that mind, but I really love comics. Just how hard to fight it is, and them to be that way. And if important anyway, just like you were saying, like you know, it's easy to forget, and anybody can forget, but to remember, like I would fought to be this. I fought to be in this position. I fought to have comics want to be around me, to be around other comics, to tell jokes. And yeah, some guy's gonna tell the same jokes for 3-4 months. You know, it comes with it.
And like, you know that's the job. Like you know, like that's the only way that joke is gonna fucking expand. Now, since we're on comics, this is my second influence guy.
Let's go.
My second. He's the GOAT. And I go between him and Burr all the time. Well, who's the GOAT?
Okay.
But the special that really made me feel like, oh shit, there's another way to do this. And I had to think this way, was Chappelle's For What It's Worth. Because the first comic I've ever seen was Dane Cook. The first stand-up hour special I saw was Dane Cook.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome, but I could never do that. That's what stand-up is. I can never do that. Even though I enjoyed the shit out of it. And then I saw, but then I was like, well, maybe I could do it differently. Maybe I could bring the Spanish version or whatever I am at that time. And I was 14, 15 when I saw that.
Wow.
So then something backfired or whatever. And then what got me into it again, I saw George Lopez. And that made me quit comedy before I even started. Because I was like, he took all the Spanish jokes. He did all, and he did it so well. And then I was like, and he did it so well. He's a Mexican, I'm Dominican, but I didn't realize how close Latino families raise their children, like no matter what fucking side of the hemisphere you are. And I'm like, he got all the jokes, the Spanish jokes. I can't redo jokes, so nobody wants to rehear those jokes. So I was like, I quit. I'm never gonna do comedy. It's just out the window. George Lopez has it. You know?
Wow.
But I'm 15, 16 around there, and I'm like, fuck it, you know, whatever. You know, I'll stick to this rap shit. And then I saw For What It's Worth by Chappelle, and I realized, oh, none of this shit needs to be 100% real.
Oh, wow.
You just gotta extract truth from it, so that when you're saying it, you fucking take that emotion of that little bit of truth, and you ride that truth wave into like the fantasy of the bit, right?
You're thinking this at 16, 17 years old?
No, that's not true. I didn't learn that at 16, 17. 16, 17, I learned a little bit of that, but I dissected that more when I started comedy and I rewatched the special. But at 16, I knew that like, oh, I can do my own Spanish material, or I can do my own material, and I can extract some truth, which is just premises mostly, and then make up a fantasy world. Like when Chappelle did the AIDS bit, right? One of my favorite bits of all time. Like they say AIDS came from a monkey. Listen, you can't fuck monkey and people. You either fuck monkeys or you fuck people, but there's no in between. Right? And that's all premise. And then when he was like, you know how hard it is to train a monkey? Like, and then he went through like the motion of like touching a monkey's ass. And he was like, yes, you know, like, oh yo, bro, it was such a good fucking bit. And I was like, most of that bit was, I mean, 100% of that bit was all just thought up off the top of his brain that one day, you know, or through the course of days, right? And then the next bit was this. Okay, this is a better example of like a little bit of truth with a lot of imagination. He has a bit on that special where he's like, Chappelle's like, I was on the bus and there was a dude jerking off. Now I know 100% either that happened to him or he heard a girl told him that or something like that. And then the rest of the bit was like how the dude jerking off, he had to tell him to stop jerking off. And he was like, and I had to do it because, you know, I was sitting right next to the motherfucker. You know, he was rubbing elbows. You know, stop touching my elbow. Right? And then he goes, and then he goes, then all these people just got brave and goes, yeah, stop jerking off. Yeah, stop doing that. And that's when the bit goes to like La La Land.
To outer space.
And that's when I realized, oh, that didn't happen. Like that dude didn't take the bus hostage while masturbating and people started listening to him. Right? But like that's when I knew, like, oh, it doesn't need to be 1,000% real. It just has to be authentic to like that thought process you had.
God. It's so, that's amazing to me just to hear that realization, that processing, and like, what is that? I don't know. I got a question on the tip of my tongue, and I can't quite find it. But like, what is that?
You're breaking up. So if you started talking, I couldn't hear you.
Okay, why is it important to you? Ability of being able to make things up.
Say that one more time because you froze.
Sure. What excites you about that possibility to make things up?
I get to be silly. I get to, because I'm not naturally a silly dude, right? Because like I try to tell you, like you know how Cat Williams said he grew up in a place that motherfuckers are mad at breakfast. Right? I think about that shit all the time. So like, because I grew up like that. I grew up like walking mean and tough. You know, like you gotta like 6 blocks in my neighborhood in East Harlem, walking 7 to 8 blocks, you with another projects, right? That was dangerous, son. So you gotta walk around with a scowl on your face, right? So I'm not naturally silly or as silly. You know, I had to take shit serious for a very long time in my life. And when my life got a little bit better and I was I was around the right people, I could let my guard down and I had to learn to be silly. You know?
Wow. What you're making me think of is like, I grew up probably in a similar environment. I wasn't in the projects, but you know, I was in different parts of Brooklyn, and I was in Queens, more residential. But like, just my dad and my mom, they really sheltered me in a way that I don't resent, because my dad is a gangster, you know what I mean? And he just looked at me and he was like, soft. and like Kobe, he was like, soft. And he was
Did he
right.
do that? Or a version of that?
It's pretty much what he did. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't literally do that, but that's pretty much what he did. And he was right in the way that I don't if I'm tough, I don't know it. I don't really care to know. It's not important to me. But like, what I do know, my dad could see in me that I had like a silliness and a to me that like, is it nurtured where we're from? And my dad immediately put me in scenarios where that would be protected. That's my point of view of it. And like, that's really important to me because I don't know if I would be right without that. Like, it's like I can, when people accuse me of being drunk or high, and I've never been.
Yeah.
And so whatever that is in me, if that would have not been allowed to grow on its own, if that would have been stifled, I might be on some other shit just to let that shit out. Because that shit was growing out of me. And I think my dad could see that, and he was like, I need to protect this because this kid's not built for selling crack and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, I just so I think it's the reason I look back and I come back to these spaces and I have so much empathy for the people around me because I know I couldn't have been the only one like that. And I, for some reason, had I was given the permission to be that way, and I know everybody wasn't. So it's so committed to comedy and art in that way because I know those are the things that gave me that permission. Just like Eminem and with Chappelle, and I want to be one of the people who gives my culture, returns back and goes, we're allowed to be this. We aren't just supposed to be tough and blah blah and be in the hood and just be, you know what I mean? I know this is in a lot of us, and somebody has to say, hey, this is allowed. Not even just because the streets demand it, but because the culture around you, your family and your loved ones are gonna tell you can't be that.
So that's, dude, you hit the nail on the fucking head there, yo. The allowed, the permit, you were given the permission to be that, and that shit helps. My buddy, a lot of my friends have kids, and what I notice is they're really good parents. Like, because you know how I know when I look at them, I'm like, oh, if I was a kid, I would have wanted them as parents, right? Because I have a different view about parenting. Like my buddy Josh tells me, Josh Palak, who I do Low End Gigolos podcast. So if he tells me all the time, he goes, Kev, and this shit it fucks with my head all the time because I think about it constantly. He goes, Kev, you know that you're constantly trying to get readopted by everyone you meet, right? And it's the way he said that shit, yeah, boy, and yeah, that shit hurt. Like it hurt, but it's also that shit also helps because it makes you realize, oh, am I doing this because I want this? Like, am I fighting to be liked right now? Am I fighting to get readopted by this person? By this clique? So when I see my friends who are good parents, they do stuff like they allow the kid to make mistakes. They talk to them about it. They and they allow them to be silly. Like when I was a kid, it was legit a thing where parents would be like, "Why are you laughing? What's so funny? Are you laughing right now? You're laughing at me? You're laughing at me? Oh my God, you're laughing at me!" You just fucking bug out.
Wow.
Or why are you guys having so much fun? I was asked that as a kid. Why are you guys having so much fun back there?
It hurt. It's so funny when it hurts as well. That's so funny.
What? It's a privilege to have fun.
Yeah.
Christ, where did you guys come from, you animals? Where'd you come from?
You're making me realize, and my mom wasn't so hard, but she was like she would definitely throw a shoe at you or hit you with an extension cord. She was, but that's some Haiti shit. But but even my dad, that is one thing he never did do. My dad is like a hard, serious dude. He could make you laugh, but he was very hard and strict. And but he definitely never ever stifled our laughter. And me and my sister loved to laugh. Even if my dad would often try to be silly. I didn't really think my dad was funny, but everybody else does. And but he would try to make you laugh. And if you laughed at him or at my mom, they would not go crazy over that. And you're making me realize how something that small is so massively important. It's a kind of grace. It's a kind of grace that somebody has to allow you to laugh at them and not.
I don't know where Chappelle learned this, right? But I saw if you watch, you should watch tonight, right? On Netflix.
For what it's worth, or Sticks and Stones.
No. He put out something last night. He put out the whole ceremony. Yo, you froze?
No, I'm frozen on the inside. I did not realize
He put
that came
out
out.
the whole ceremony of the Mark Twain thing. It's a beautiful piece.
No.
I'm so happy I just hyped you up, bro.
I've been waiting for, because you don't know, I'm a huge Neil Brennan fan as well as Chappelle. So I've been waiting for that to come out.
You're gonna love this shit, right? But check this out. So what I just came to realize is I love defiant motherfuckers. I love motherfuckers that are very defiant, because the only, like, I say this, thank God I'm a guy. I'm a dude, right? That like eventually my mom is 4'11", right? By 7th grade I was 5'8", 5'7", or 5, whatever. I was taller than her. I was a husky kid. Now try to tell me not to laugh now is the attitude I came in with every day. Or like so yeah. So Chappelle, Eminem, defiant motherfucker, son. And last night he was saying some shit that like his mother would drive him to mics.
Crazy. Yeah.
And you know these mics are 2 hours long. Who knows how long they were back then? And they never stifled his dreams, son. They questioned him. They made sure that he thought through things, but they never said, "Nah, you can't do that, and this is why." And they didn't do any of that. Oh, why are you laughing? Why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? Why would you tell a kid that? That's crazy. That's such a great, crazy.
There's got to be a joke in there because that's so sad and that's so real. Why would you tell? That's like, it's similar to when Chappelle talks about getting booed at the Apollo, and he's like, "Why would you boo a child?" Yeah, that's a great premise. Yeah,
motherfuckers love touting power over you, son. They love that shit. They love when. That's why that's why Chappelle's defined, because like you're not gonna have power over Chappelle. You know how hard he worked to build himself to be Dave Chappelle. You're not gonna tell him what he can and can't say now. Why would he listen to you? You did nothing. If you don't like what he has to say, chances are you did nothing to help him get to where he is. Anyway, you didn't support the Chappelle show. You didn't buy a fucking ticket. Why does your opinion matter to Chappelle?
Oh, you're helping me. What you're also helping me realize is like, because I would sometimes I didn't always understand defiant. I was a defiant kid. Like, you know, I never, like, I always tell my girlfriend, like, when I was a kid and I would come home super late and my mom would be like, "Where were you?" And I would be like, "I was at Denny's." I was really at Denny's. I was, you know what I mean? Even when it was like, you couldn't believe how innocent it was. Like, so I've never really been a defiant person. I never had need to. So I didn't understand when Eminem was so defiant, why he was so defiant. But to me, when you and other people tell me stories of how important his work was to you, and he was like, "Listen, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want," you're helping me realize that when he's saying that, he's like, and maybe there's other parts to it too. He's just like, "Fuck you." But I think there's a part of it is like, you don't understand how much I needed somebody to say these things when I was a kid. Like, you're not going to stop me from saying these things.
And even if Eminem wasn't thinking that, I get so big that somebody clips this stuff out and like, this is what this guy said about you. And so he knows, like, not only does he know, but like other artists realize, like, yo, man, you can't be scared to do shit. And I'm guilty of being scared to do shit all the time, where I hesitate on stage and I'm like, and every time I've ever hesitated, it always was like, why? Why did you hesitate? They laughed. Not only did they laugh, but you brought them through like different emotions to get there. Like, this is fucking awesome. You know? And at the very least, every time I said some shit I was a little scared to say. And even if I didn't make them laugh, somebody come up to, "That was a good fuck. I never thought about it like that."
I'm gonna say to close this, you've been posted. I saw one video that you posted of you doing a set, and one thing that I loved about it that I thought was so incisive and brilliant was you would, I don't know if it was you or somebody else, you would mark with captions like the moments where you hesitated or you
I did
second
that.
guessed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would write it down. Oh, this is me doing this, or this is me doing, almost like in a similar way to like when Jim Gaffigan would do the voice of the audience or something when he's doing his joke. Like there's such an intelligence there of like you could see for yourself the thoughts that you're going through,
I could also
points.
Refeel it, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at it, I know exactly what the fuck I was thinking, exactly how I was feeling. I could re-feel that emotion if I'm looking at it.
Wow. There's something about that is so, I hope you keep, doing those or something like it, because there's something so relatable and so intelligent about that, to be
I
able
appreciate that,
to
man. Thank you.
recognize all the small minutia of emotion that you're going through, and especially for somebody to look at it and go, wow, I can relate to that. And it sort of adds to the jokes, and it's just a quality that I prize. I'm sure other people prize, is self-awareness. It's such a great
Thank you,
quality
man.
and tool to have. Yeah, dude. And I think we're gonna end it there. This was fantastic, dude. Thank you so much
I had
for
a great fucking time.
Yeah, dude.
I hope you guys liked it. If you do like whatever the fuck I said this whole time, follow me at Live with Sanchez. I'm gonna try really hard to stop touching my fucking face. Follow me at Live with Sanchez on Instagram. That's all I really am on. I mean, you can add me on Facebook if you like. It's Kevin Sanchez. And thank you, Precious Gorgeous. I love you, buddy.
Love
You're fucking
too.
awesome.
Listen to the Low End Gigolos.
Albums. I have to listen to your Christmas album. I still haven't fucking tuned in.
Yeah.
I'm a slow listener.
Yes.
I'm slow when it comes to getting to people's shit because I'm still processing your first shit.
Wow. Well, the next the one that's the Christmas album or the holiday album is very different, and I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, everybody check out Low End Gigolos with Kevin and Josh and Jonathan Kaplan. And thank you, brother. I appreciate you a lot.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
All right. This is Savage Brushstroke. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's 2 parts to this one too. I'm gonna post them together later, but you guys check them out. All right, peace out.